everyone, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the 13th installment in the Bottle Change Rider series, Kamen Rider Build Genius Form. So, as opposed to previous releases, not too much of the figure is shown through the packaging. It's actually kind of hard to see him in there. It's kind of dark, not a lot of light being let in, but you can see a really nice picture here of the form, as well as a figure down here on the front. Very cool, very colorful. I like this form a lot. Taking a look at the side, here's kind of a better full body picture of the form and the figure. This just kind of extends the front picture onto the side, which is kind of cool. Not too much going on down there. And then it shows you the gimmick. It looks like when you press the button, this is going to spin, or I don't think light up. I think the inside just spins. But you can see, here's a pretty cool picture of the form. It's like fireworks, like bottle rockets going off from all the different bottles on his body. And then here, obviously, are the other figures in the line. Pretty much they were doing the half and half forms up until about Rabbit Tank Sparkling, and then they kind of just started, each one would have like a different little gimmick since they didn't break in half anymore. But I believe this will be the last in the series. 13 is usually about the number they get up to. I think X8 went to like almost 20, but that was a different story. They had so many riders in X8. But I think this series is kind of winding down. We only have about, 7 or 8 episodes left. So I don't think there's going to be too much left in the toy line. So this could be pretty much, I don't think is it the last release? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I know it's definitely getting towards the end. But in any case, let's get this figure out of the box and let's take a closer look. So here is Genius Form out of the packaging. And I have to say, I really like the design of the form. I love how colorful it is, and I think they've done a pretty good job representing that with this figure. Not too much as far as paint or anything goes on the back, but that's kind of to be expected. But this is the first Bottle Change Rider series figure with a fully posable head. It took them the entire line, but they finally made a figure with a posable head. And it looks good. I like it. I think the job they did here with the kind of translucent, colorful plastic looks really neat. It's a really cool head design. Really nice paint on the shoulders, forearms, thighs, shins, all really nicely painted. Articulation, pretty standard for a rider gimmick figure. You have a ball joint on the head. You have out to the side for your shoulder. You have front to back. You can also move the shoulder pads independently. They moved the bicep swivel down to right above the elbow because of the design here, but you still do get that swivel. You have 90 degrees in the elbow. You have a wrist swivel, and then you have the 2 sets of fingers, as per usual. You do have a waist swivel, something else these figures don't usually have in the Bottle Change Rider series. And then out to the side, front to back. That's about as back far as it goes because of the kind of butt flap, but it's as far as you need it to go. Kicks all the way forward. 90 degrees at the knee, ball joint in the ankle, and you can see the Genius bottle in the build driver, which is a nice touch. So I think it's a cool figure. If you're just looking for a nice representation of the Genius form and you don't want to buy a figure art, I think this is a good figure. Very nice articulation. Doesn't come with any accessories, but I don't really think he needs it. He uses the full bottle buster, so you could use those toys from the Hazard Rabbit Tank figure. Just have him hold one of those if you want. He doesn't really have his own accessories. He does have a feature, though. This piece here actually pulls down. And I appreciate the fact that they pushed it up so that it fits seamlessly into the body. I mean, yeah, you can see it a little bit. But if they actually just had this stuck like this all the time, that would look ridiculous to me. So I'm kind of excited that they made it so that it can fit back into the back. And you don't really notice it all that much. But how the feature works, you pull this down, and then you just push this in. And what that does, if it'll even show up on camera, you can see it makes the little dial inside there spin around so that the light reflects off the sparkly bits in there, and it looks kind of neat. Pretty much one of the weaker features as far as this line goes. When your whole gimmick was the fact that you could split apart and make different combinations, and then build stopped doing that halfway through the series, they had to figure out what to do with the rest of the line. So you have Grease and Cross Z Charge had that head flip gimmick, And then I think Rogue had like his head spun around for some reason. So they're not the best gimmicks. Obviously, the breaking apart and mixing and matching was the best gimmick of the line, but that's kind of done. So in my mind, this is just a nice physical representation of the Genius form, nicely painted, good articulation. You got the head swivel or the head ball joint and the waist swivel back, which had been sorely lacking from the line up until now. This little feature, certainly not a selling point. To me, it's just a bonus. It's kind of neat. But I buy this because I just want a nice action figure of Genius form, and that's what this is. So that's what it is. So if that's what you're looking for, then I highly recommend it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I think it's got great articulation, great paint apps. Like I said, it's just a nice figure of Genius form where you don't, it's about half the price or more of a SH Figuart, which I don't know if they've even announced one for Genius form yet. I'm sure they will. But if you want a cheaper option, like I said, half price or even less than a Figuart, this is a nice representation of the form, great articulation, great paint. I recommend it. I've enjoyed the Bottle Change Rider series. I did enjoy it more in the beginning with the mix and match, but again, I just think they're nice action figures. They're nice, decently priced action figures. I wish they would do this kind of stuff with Sentai, but they don't really. They're starting to do it with Ultraman, so maybe one day Sentai will finally get action figures like this, because now Ultraman started to do it, and those figures are great too. So I'm rambling. At this point, I think it's a good figure. I recommend it. If you just want a nice figure of Genius form, you won't be disappointed. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you so much for watching.